with us this year, and we just really want to find out a bit more about some of the success stories that you've helped students get. So perhaps maybe you can share a bit about some of the schools that you may have helped some students.
Okay, so throughout this year, I've helped them get into a number of schools. I've helped a student get into Winchester with a scholarship, Cheltenham Ladies College, Wycombe Abbey, a few in Oxfordshire and Hampshire as well, and Fettes College in Scotland also, so all throughout the UK.
That's such an impressive range of schools. What would you say has been the key fundamental ingredient to really helping these people get these results?
I think for me, it's been helping them to engage with studying. So they've come to me at all different points in their academic career. So some for 11 plus, some for 13 plus. And a lot of them have maybe had trouble engaging with a particular subject, especially if they haven't enjoyed it that much. But I think with online tutoring, I've helped them to engage, to kind of realise maybe confidence is an issue, and that if they really work hard and engage with me, then together we can get these great results.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kate. I think that as a tutor, it's really your job to really instill that belief in them and carry them throughout that process, because it can be quite difficult to figure it all out yourself as a student. So having someone who's kind of been there and got results and kind of creating a plan can really alleviate that stress and make everything really clear for them. So thank you. And how effective has online tutoring been for you and your students?
I think it can actually be more engaging and more effective than a face-to-face tutor, because a lot of students now are working with interactive whiteboards and iPads and things like that at school. So it's a very small jump for them to go to a situation with Skype or FaceTime or WhatsApp where they're then working with me. And it seems to be that when it's their hour of tuition online, they're able to kind of switch on, plug in, and realise that that's their hour with me. And it can bring about, I think, more focus than face-to-face tutoring.
Yeah, I agree. I think that everything is moving into the digital space, and it's actually a lot more effective because, we can easily slide like homework into the whiteboard. You don't need to carry anything, and everything's at your fingertips, really. So it's a lot more accessible than it would be had you required to bring certain books and articles and maybe paper and pens in the kind of real life setting. Mm. And why do you think that some parents may have initial reservations to online tutoring?
I think it's mainly because online tutoring is still relatively new. So a lot of parents have in mind, when they think of a tutor for their child, they think of a face-to-face tutor, someone coming around to their house and so on. So I think it's overcoming that barrier, first of all. But I haven't had any student who has had their first session with me who hasn't committed after that. Everyone who's had their first session with me online has then wanted to carry on after that. So I think I would like more people to kind of push beyond their expectations, and they would also realise that it can definitely be more effective, and it is the way forward.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think collectively we probably devoted thousands of hours to online tutoring, and everyone that actually does experience extreme success, because it's not so much the medium in which tutoring is actually carried out, it's actually the results that we're after. It's actually who, the people behind it, people that are actually bringing out these lessons, which will be, you as the tutor. So, and obviously with video conferencing, you can actually see face to face the student and tutor as well. So there really is no limitation. And obviously you actually are a graduate from Cambridge University, which is obviously a huge achievement. I'd love to hear more about some of the tips that you may have in how to get into Cambridge University.
So obviously the first one would be consistent academic performance. That's what all the top universities are looking for. But Oxford and Cambridge, they're both more than that. And I think that's curiosity and potential. They're not looking for the complete finished package. They're looking for someone who wants to learn more and wants to shape themselves. But I think also someone who's interesting to talk to. And when you go for your interview, they're looking for someone who they want to teach. Because that's obviously a huge part of it at Oxford and Cambridge. You have a lot of small group lessons, and so it's important that you are an interesting and interested person, because then you're the kind of person that they want to talk to. And I think as well, when you go to Cambridge and Oxford, you're going to have experiences which will be mind-blowing and inspirational, and I think that's something that you know, you need to be the kind of person who is open to those kind of experiences. So I went to the college at Cambridge where Stephen Hawking was a fellow, so I got to go to a dinner where he was there. And for me, that's really what Oxford and Cambridge are all about. You're walking the same corridors and same streets as people who have really shaped the world as we know it today, and some of the best minds in the world. So I think you need to be, from the outset, really the kind of person that the tutor will look at and think, you know, this person is able to have their mind open to experiences like this.
That's a really, really great insight, Kate. I mean, there are just so many layers to you. I know that you teach a whole array of subjects and different levels. You know, there's classics, there's languages, there's English, and, you know, just hearing all this, I can certainly see why Cambridge did select you as one of their students. Why would you say that regular accountability for students and consistency is important?
I think because as a tutor, obviously I'm guiding students through their hour lesson with me, but it's really about more than that to become a successful student. They need to become more independent as learners. So I often set a small amount of homework if the parents think that's okay, because I think it's important that students learn to think for themselves and also practice the things that we've gone through in the lesson. I also think it's a partnership really between myself and the parents. So communication with the parents is important as well, so that they can see what I've done in the lesson, and they can also ask me questions. Maybe some parents send me the student's report, so that the student knows that I'm kind of part of this whole web of learning. I'm not just the tutor who kind of comes in once a week. I know about their progress at school as well. And so we're all kind of working together consistently to help the student towards success.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's that ecosystem that allows real results to really come into fruition. And I have noticed you have written some really lengthy reports. How do you think that this has kept you as a tutor accountable, and also been a great help for parents as well?
I think it helps me to kind of keep track of everything that I'm doing, and if I feel that maybe a student hasn't done so well in a particular lesson and I'm putting that into a report, then it helps me to think about maybe what I should do differently next time, or what I need to tell the student to do differently next time. And I think it also helps the parents, because it helps them to see what we're covering. So if they feel that there's a weakness in a particular area and they see that I've covered that, then they can feel satisfied that their child's had some help in that area.
Amazing. Thank you for that feedback. And you are actually helping one student in particular. It's quite a unique situation. She attends a private school in Kensington, but is currently out of school due to suffering from anxiety and panic attacks. So how have you managed to help her?
So a lot of her stress is coming from schoolwork and the situation with going to school and managing that academic work. So I've been responsible for helping her with management of things like revision, because she's working towards her GCSEs. But also I've been a point of contact between her father and the school, just to reduce some of that stress. So the school will send me a list of topics which she's missed in classes, and I then send that on to her, but in a more manageable way. So rather than sending her a whole list of things which she's missed, maybe break it down into chunks. And then I also communicate with her on a regular basis, so 3, 4, 5 times a week, just via WhatsApp video call. We discuss how she can tackle that. So rather than just sending her a list of these are the things that you've missed, we talk through how are you going to tackle them, what do you need to do to make things better for yourself. And she then sends me photos and pictures of things that she's completed, so that she's holding herself accountable, and I'm also doing that to kind of create this support network for her, so that things are a little bit less stressful.
I think you've done an amazing job, Kate. Obviously, our student and the father and family have really, really benefited from all your help. And I do agree, it's that kind of connection, that older sister figure and someone who actually genuinely cares, comes from a place of empathy that actually creates really long lasting results. So thank you so much for all your help this year, Kate. You've been wonderful. Really, really been a pleasure working with you. Thank you.
Thank you.